I'm kind of on a roll tonight. Maybe. I don't know. I'm boring the fuck out of anyone who's watching this, I'm sure. I wanted to address a point that I made within the last video. So, you know, kind of like a boring Inception. Video within a video. Because this is probably kind of an important point. Does Islam equal terrorism? No. No. It does. Let me start off with this, because this point is made somewhat frequently. The Middle East is violent. It's a violent place because it's unstable. And it's unstable for a lot of historical and political reasons. For example, not the least of which, I'm sure, is that we are continuously destabilizing the fuck out of it. It's not violent because that's where Islam is. Alright? If you took a bunch of Christians, threw them into the same situation, the same goddamn thing would happen. If you think it wouldn't, you're fucking kidding yourself. As an outsider, let me assure you, your two religions are fundamentally the goddamn same. Same thing. What religion is, and this is another thing, Islam does not equal terrorism. Islam does not equal violence. But it confuses and befuddles the fuck out of me when I hear the statement, Islam is a religion of peace. Either when people are saying it because they believe it or when they're ridiculing it. The phrase, Islam is a religion of peace. There's no fucking such thing. And I'm not saying religion is the cause of violence and war. I'm not making that point, because that point's made all the time. That's fucking dumb too. There's no such thing as a religion of peace, or a religion of war, a religion of love, a religion of violence, a religion of hate. No such thing. Because what religion is a series of narratives that people use to explain shit they don't fuck understand. That's all. And there are multiple variations of every religion. Everyone practices it differently. Even among the same religion, I'm sure, I mean, you're aware you've got different denominations. And within those denominations, you might generally believe the same thing, but any two people, what they specifically believe, and as it gets more and more detailed, is different for every single person, which really makes me wonder how any of you manage to take it seriously. Billions of people, each believing something, you know, unique, each believing that they've got it right, and there's supposedly this omnipotent, omniscient being, God, who knows, and being omnipotent should be perfectly capable of just, in no uncertain terms, reaching out and clarifying, and not relying on like vague texts and shit that people need to translate and take things from selectively and interpret it conveniently to make it sound like like they've got something, because there's nothing there for any of it. Like, hey, up there, you're all powerful. You want to clear some of this shit up? People are dying. People are fucking killing each other because they can't decide what the fuck you want. You do. Maybe let us all know. No, religion is how people explain shit they don't understand. Um, I've, over the course of my life, have devised my own ideology, which, if I do say so myself, is really good. And within it, I basically, and I'm saying this for a reason, I'm not trying to promote it, I'm kind of getting into why people believe what they believe. Within it, I describe the universe in terms of cause and effect, which is really all that there is. The main quote that I posted some years ago, it's kind of like the core message, is all that is fate, a continuous, ever-expanding cycle of identity and circumstance. And that's what is causality. Identities creating circumstances, circumstances influencing identities and leading to new and developing identities and circumstances. Really, I shouldn't try to explain the whole thing right now, but refer to it all as what I call the causal web. And it's just how different, and I can throw a picture of it up on Facebook or something like that if anyone wants to see what it is I'm talking about. And it's a very crude representation of it, don't get me wrong. It looks, to look at it, it's not very impressive at all. But the general idea behind it is that these causality from each level of incident gives rise to the level above it. You've got the quantum level, the atomic level, the chemical level, the environmental and evolutionary, leading up to, you've got like human behavior, which goes into neurology, psychology, and then to behavioral, and from there, technological. Very basic overview. Don't get too, distracted. Anyway, theoretically, the entire universe can be described in those terms, and everything that you would ever see, experience, anywhere in the universe, and all of existence can be represented somewhere within this causal web. And basically anything that can be explained can be traced back through cause and effect. And in doing so, inevitably, no matter what, you're eventually going to hit a block where you can observe something, but you don't really have an explanation for it. And at that point, that's what I labeled, I coined the term axiomatic threshold. That's an axiomatic threshold. You kind of just have to look at it and say, well, I observe it, I see that it is, that it happens, but I don't really know why. And at that point, what you do, if you're a reasonable person, is you kind of accept that you don't know. You embrace your ignorance of it. It doesn't mean that you never care to find out, you never care to learn. It just means you don't know yet. What religion is somebody encountering an axiomatic threshold and saying, God damn it, I need an explanation for that, and creating a narrative to explain it. And it goes back all through human history. People didn't know meteorology. People didn't understand, say, like a thunderstorm. They'd say, hey, it's fucking raining outside and I hear thunder and oh shit, there's lightning. What the fuck is that about? They didn't have any idea about air masses and cold fronts and ionization and electricity. Half of you probably don't know half of what I'm talking about right now. And they certainly didn't know back then. So they made up a story and they said, well, there's a guy up there on top of that mountain over there, and when he gets pissed off, he just fucking chucks lightning bolts at us because he's a dick. And, you know, that sufficed for them. It helped them, and it helps to deal with the fact that you don't know. Because sometimes that not knowing can be fucking scary. I get that. And that's what religion is. It's the imposition of the human ego onto the unknown. So that's religion for you. And the point is that religion is just an expression of who you are and what you yourself believe and represent and stand for. So regardless, you can choose any religion you want. If you're a dick, you're going to practice that religion like a dick. You're going to have an interpretation of that religion that allows you to be a dick and justify being a dick. And if you're a good person, then your interpretation of your religion is going to be one that encourages you to be a good person. That's all. There's nothing special about one religion or the other. You've got Christians who are assholes. You've got good Christians. You've got good Muslims. You've got Muslims who are assholes. You've got good Jewish people, good Jews, and people who are Jewish and who are assholes. Every religion doesn't matter. You've got good people and you've got assholes. Religion is just kind of this affectation that's applied over the surface. It really, so when you say something, you know, when people equate Islam with terrorism, it's just fucking stupid. Terrorism in Islam and terrorism in religion are just two completely separate constructs. I think I've covered everything I want to. As a matter of fact, that wasn't a very long video. Islam does not equal terrorism. For those of you who believe it does, you're wrong.